nationwide. We are a top 5 lender. We're actually number 1 in VA, number 1 in FHA, and number 1 in USD. So we do a few loans. Here locally, the Wood Group, we are locally owned and operated by Matt and Mark Wood. They're operating managers out of Belton. And we have some satellite offices all around the state. So probably, I think we're up to 13 offices around the state. So we kind of operate a little bit differently than the Fairway corporate offices. We kind of do everything internally with our own employees, hired by Wood Group. So it's very seamless. You start with me, you only talk to me. Our underwriters are my buddies, and our closers, I have everybody's cell phone number, so it makes the process really, really easy. Couple things that you have in front of you. First thing is our Power Buyer program. This is going to help your buyers compete with cash buyers. So what we do is we get them fully approved through underwriting. So assets, income, credit, everything is going to be fully approved before they go under contract. So when they make their offer, we can close within 15 days. All we need is the appraisal and title work. This makes it quick closing that sellers like. They want their money. And they also want to know that it's guaranteed. I mean, they've already gone through underwriting, so there's no hiccups last minute. There's no questions about income or anything. We're good to go. We just got to do the appraisal and title work. So the other part of it that the Wood Group is offering to kind of sweeten the pot a little bit even more is if we don't close within that 15 days, we're paying the seller up to $1,000 for not closing within that 15-day time period. So really helps make those offers stand out. The other thing you have on the sheet is,
Hey, we got it for last slides.
so this one, just Fairway at a glance, just kind of tells you a little bit more about our company, where we come from and where we are now. So when I started, just specifically with the Wood Group, I started in 2013. There were 20 of us in our group. We are now up to about 150. So we've seen some very big growth in this area. And Fairway as a whole, I think we were at about 2,000 employees when I started, and we're about 7,000 right now. So within 5 years, we've more than doubled not only our employee size, but obviously our amount and volume as well. As I mentioned, we were number 1 USDA. This number 3 in FHA, that was from 2017. It just came out yesterday that we were number 1 for 2018. So, like I said, we do a few mortgages. We kind of know what we're doing. And this just kind of gives you guys just some bullet points why to work with us. Besides just getting to work with me, and I'm just amazing and awesome. You also get like the backing of an amazing and awesome company too. So national strength, hometown service. Like I said, we're nationwide, but we have our local offices, so you always have a point of contact here locally, as well as our processing. Everybody is within this area, so there's always somebody that we can reach out and smack if we need to. But we would never do that because we're all very good. Consistent communication. So like I said, you always have me as a point of contact. We also send email updates, probably more than you even want. Update every point of the loan process.
Couldn't get him to agree to that.
So it's submitted to processing, the appraisal's been ordered. You don't have to call me and ask what's going on. You're going to have communication from me before you even want to ask. And you're going to have communication about things that you didn't even know that you should be asking about, so that's great too. We have a wide variety of products. We have a ton of down payment assistance programs too, so if you have somebody that's just like, well, I really need to wait and save money for a down payment, you know what, we've got programs for that. We work with NeighborWorks, we work with T-Shack, there's a Seth program, just probably have 15 different down payment assistance programs that we can help people with. Early delivery of closing documents and loan funds. We try to have clear to close 3 days before closing. Doesn't always happen, sometimes it happens day of, but you know.
Sometimes that's
Things come up.
Get it done.
And we like to get our documents to the title company at least 24 hours prior to closing, as well as an early wire. So they will have our funds ready to disperse before we even get to the closing table. In most cases. Speed to respond. Our average turn time is 21 days. We can do faster when needed. And it's just competing against your local banks and some other companies that are maybe 45, 60 days out. We're 21 days on average. That's without any rushes or anything, so it makes it a very quick and easy process for you and your clients. That's all I got, so if y'all have questions, fire away.
As far as like questionable credit and stuff like that, people that you guys have a program for.
Yep, so VA we go down to 580, FHA we go down to 600, conventional 620, USDA is 640. It's pretty much a given with USDA, but we have, internally we have a credit repair program that we can, if it's below that, we put their information in the software and it tells us what we need to do to get the scores up. If for some reason it's more intense, if there's more that needs to be done than just, hey, pay down this credit card and you'll be good to go. We have a couple companies that we refer that have a really good proven track record that, there's a lot of those law firms and companies around that claim to repair your credit, but all they do is throw disputes on. We have companies that we refer that actually repair your credit. So we can definitely help in any situation.
And then in a situation like that, you guys stick with that client all the way through the process?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Is there a score when you, level that you get the most favorable credit rating?
Upper 700s, conventional, you're gonna get the best rate. Rates are gonna depend on, it depends on loan amount, down payment, credit score, debt ratios. There's a lot that goes into determining the rate. So when your clients ask, I get called all the time, what's the rates today? Totally depends. And you'll see it advertised on bankrate.com or, all of those. And when you read the fine print, it's for a very specific type of customer. And a lot of those advertise with buying down the rate with points. So it's just, I try and just have those conversations that it depends.
You mean advertisements aren't really truthful?
No,
They just try to
actually
suck
they're
you in and
not.
get you
Uh-huh.
talking? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then you get your loan estimate with 6 points and you're like, wait, what? Any other questions?
I saw you had a special program for wounded warriors, so what about just veterans in general?
So we do VAs, we do the VA loans, we also do the Texas Vet loans. Texas Vet, they get a discounted rate if they have at least 30% disability, so it's another option to give them a little bit lower rate. We do a lot with, what you're seeing there is the American Warrior Initiative, and that's what this shirt is. It's Red Friday, Remember Everyone Deployed. It's an initiative that we have with American Warrior. We do boot camps nationwide that kind of just focuses on how to interact with veterans when they're coming to you to buy a home, like just certain things ways that you can help them above and beyond what you would normally do for a non-veteran, a civilian. But that's a cause that we really, I think last year we donated about $500,000 worth of. We do grants to start businesses. We give away service dogs, which you would never believe how expensive a service dog is.
So
It's about $25,000 for the training and everything. So that's just a couple.
that's just not counting the dog either.
Right.
It's just the training.
Yeah. So that's what we do there.
You recall what the Texas Vet rate is?
I don't know this week. Last time I checked, it was with the discount. I think it was 3.97, something like that. I think that was last week. It changes. Theirs only changes once a week, whereas ours can change multiple times a day.
Well, thank you very much. I got 2 stories. The only negative about Sarah is that she works too late. Seriously, she'll call me sometimes at 9 o'clock and says, hey, I got this loan ready for you. I talked to your client. I was like, you realize it's 9 o'clock, right? So if you need something late at night and you have her on your dial, she will work great.
Tell people, like,
How great you are?
no, that I talk at night,
You do sometimes,
as needed, on an as needed basis.
It is, but at the same time, you're willing to do that, not just
Absolutely.
turn off your phone
Absolutely.
and do that. Also willing to juggle things at the last minute. We had a closing just the other day that the numbers just weren't adding up with my client's account. She was like, hey, well, let's do this. Hey, let's do this. And working, and we were sitting at the closing table signing, finally, all right, we're about to sign. We finally got the clear to close as everybody was sitting around just talking. Of course, they faxed the documents over. We got it all taken care of, but still working the last minute not just saying, hey, look, we gotta wait till the next day, we gotta do something. She's like, look, we'll get this done, we'll get it done immediately. So she is really great to work with. Well, now let me tell you about EXP. EXP is a fabulous company. I've been with them for a little over 2 years. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Lance Donaldson. That is my beautiful wife, Christy. I have 4 kids. I have a 23, 21, 9, and 7. My 21-year-old just got engaged. My 23-year-old is going to school for technology. My 7-year-old is adopted. They're both a hot mess. And my she's a firecracker. Yes. My 9-year-old is a true miracle baby. She was born at 23.6 weeks, 1 pound, 4 ounces. I could speak for hours about her and the miracle that she is, but she is healthy. You would never know if you saw her out and about. You'd be like, she's a micro preemie? Yes, she is. But that's a little bit about me. I've been in business. I was self-employed for years. I worked with my dad for many years. We used to own pay telephones, the old-timey pay phones, which were great. Went into different sales. My wife kept telling me about 5, 6 years ago, Lance, you need to look at real estate. You'd be great at it. Lance, you need to look at real estate. You'd be great at it. Well, eventually I listened to her advice, and I wish I would have listened to it 5 or 6 years ago, because I got into it about 2 years ago, and I love it. I called a bunch of my friends, and I called this one lady who I've known since 1991. Her name is Tracy Lewis. I said, Tracy, would I be good at real estate? And she said, oh my gosh, Lance, you would be fantastic, but I want you to come look at this EXP model. I just found out about it, and it will blow your mind. So I drove down to San Antonio and listened to an EXP presentation about like y'all are listening to here today. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. That makes sense. We'll tell you a little bit about Tracy. Tracy was a school teacher. She graduated from Baylor, was teaching here in Waco, got married, moved to Detroit, got a divorce when she was in Detroit. She looked at her expenses and her bills, and she realized, I cannot even make my normal bills with my income. I got to do something different. I'm going to become a real estate agent. Because I know how smart I am, and I'm smarter than some of these other real estate agents. I'm going to do that. She burned all of her teaching bridges, moved to Texas, and got a real estate license. This was in the mid-90s. In a few short years, she developed her business. She joined Century 21. She owned the 4th largest Century 21 in the world. She knows what she's doing. She knows what she's talking about. Well, in 2006, she sold her Century 21 franchise, which was a great time because shortly after that, the market crashed. But she sold that, was doing speaking tours for a few years, met her husband named Scott Lewis, and she joined Keller Williams. She loved Keller Williams. She said Keller Williams is one of the greatest companies. They have everything I need. Well, one of Scott's mentors named Rob Flick, you'll hear me talk about all these people later as well. Rob Flick called and says, hey, I just found a new company called EXP. I want you to look at the model. He looked at it, he goes, I'm on, let's go. He goes, I gotta talk to my wife. He told Tracy, he goes, hey, Rob called me this new model called EXP, and Tracy says, nope, I'm not doing it. I love Keller Williams, we're not moving. He goes, just watch his presentation and look at these numbers. She watched the presentation, looked at the numbers, she said, where do we sign up? So she's been with EXP a little over 3 years. So what is EXP? Who are we? This is our founder. His name is Glenn Sanford. Glenn was the head of technology for Keller Williams. He is a very intelligent, super smart guy. I was listening to another guy speak. He said, you know, when you take advantage, or we take for granted, when people search on the computer for houses in your area, that we automatically get their information. Well, he developed the programs when someone's looking for houses in a certain area that it will capture their information and give it to him. So he was living in Seattle at the time, and his company did $60 million in only his 4th year. So he's a major producer. Well, in 2008, he was sitting around with a bunch of his friends, and they're like, man, this market is horrible. They own 3 franchises. Like I said, he was with Keller Williams, and he says, what are we going to do to make a model that helps out the realtors? The agents and the brokers do the heavy lifting, and they should be compensated for what they do. So let's make a brokerage model that is advantageous for all of us. And they sit down and they created EXP. And in 2009, he founded EXP Realty. Well, here's a few of our highlights that we have done. Ones that I really wanted to look at is 2016. That's when I joined. 2016, I'm number 3,016. 3,016th agent in EXP to sign up. By the very beginning of 2018, we had over 10,000 agents. We tripled in growth by agent number. In the end of 2018, we became a publicly traded stock company. If you want to look up our ticker, it's EXPI. Yesterday it was trading around $11 a share. Here's our growth. I made this in October 2023, this past year. We had 14,000 agents. We now have over 16,000 agents. About 500 agents a month are joining EXP. There's 2.3 million agents in the United States, so we still have a lot of room to grow. As you can see, we have an increase for the third quarter. We increased our sales, we increased our transactions, the volume closed, and in 2018, he won the Inman Innovator Award for the most innovative brokerage. So not only do we have a track record of success, we sell and we're growing like crazy. We have 9 core values that we believe in, and I can hit every one of these. And I'll talk about a few of them. We have service, sustainability, collaboration, transparency, integrity, innovation. We're agile. We can change our business plan as we need to, as we grow. We do believe in having a lot of fun. We're going to have some fun after here and just kind of mix and mingle. And we believe in community, helping each other out. I know that when the hurricane and the flooding hit Houston a couple of years ago, EXP immediately created a program. There were just a handful of agents in Houston. And they said, what can we do to help them? They lost every one of their listings. Every one of their contracts were underwater. No telling for how long. People weren't going to sell these. Some people had 50, 60 listings. Their livelihood depended on that. And we said, well, as a company, what can we do? So we created a program that agents could donate part of their closings to help these people out, called Helping Hands. We do fundraising for them. So we believe in a community. We believe that we are all in this together. And you'll hear this said quite often. A rising tide raises all ships. We're not against each other. We are all partners and agent owners. But what is our business model? A few years ago, Blockbuster was a $6 billion company. They were the biggest dog. They put out Hollywood Video out of business. They'd done everything. And Netflix came to them. The guy says, hey, I have a streaming service I want to show you. This will be great. It'll revolutionize the industry. Showed it to him. They said, well, okay, I don't think it'll work. Guy says, look, I'll sell it to you for $50 million. That's a discount what you're going to get. Guy said, nope, we're not going to do it. It'll never work. People love our stores. People love walking into Blockbuster, picking out a video, and seeing their friends. So Netflix says, fine, we'll do it our own way. 6 years later, Blockbuster was bankrupt, out of business. Netflix is huge. They're making millions now. Same thing. Amazon. Amazon was just books, but they decided to adapt, to change. They were agile. And now they're one of the largest companies in the world. Uber went to Yellow Cab. And they said, I have a market and a plan for you. Let me show you what we can do for your cab drivers. Instead of just waiting there, wasting their time, why don't we, here's an app. They just push a button. They order us a cab service. Yellow Cab laughed at them and says, that will not work. That is a ridiculous plan. Yellow Cab is bankrupt and out of business. And Uber is the largest corporation for driving people around now. Same thing, traditional brokerages. You don't need a brick and mortar. We are cloud-based on everything we do. Well, typical franchises, we are not a franchise. eXp Realty is one international company. So we're all under the same brokerage internationally. We're in 50 states and 3 provinces in Canada. We're about to open up Puerto Rico. We're getting ready to open up Mexico, Asia, all a bunch of other countries as well. It's coming. Growth is coming. Well, a typical franchise, you know, has a franchise fee, a desk fee. They are locally confined. They might have inconsistent growth patterns. If you're part of a small brokerage, they might not have the technology available for you to be successful. And they have the limited tools. Well, at EXP, we have no desk fees. You can work from anywhere. I can pull up my computer and talk to an agent, tech support. If I have a problem, I can get online. We have 30 hours of training per week. Now, it's not just the basic training, how to get started, what's a contract. It is advanced training. They have mastermind groups on there with people that are $500 million producers. And anyone can go in there and listen and learn for over 30 hours a week. There's one class that's really exciting. It's called Real Estate 101. A good friend of mine named Jonathan Dupree teaches it. It started out as a way for him to gather his team on Sunday night. He had about 50 agents working for him all throughout Louisiana, and he couldn't get them together. So he decided, we're gonna have a meeting Sunday night at 8 o'clock. Well, a gentleman by the name of Brad Anderson walks in and said, hey, can anybody join this meeting? And I said, yeah, sure, bring everybody on. Well, now on Sunday night at 8 o'clock, about 300 of us closest friends get together and listen to a presentation, a training session. It's really fantastic. And you actually can raise your hand. It looks like you're playing a video game, which I'll show you in a second, but it sounds like this. So again, we have no desk fees, work from anywhere, so you cut your overhead expenses. So no expenses means that we can take our money and roll it back into the agents. We are paperless transactions. I've only had to print 2 transactions since I've been working with eXp. One of them was an elderly gentleman that did not want to e-sign anything. He was about 85 years old. He goes, nope, I don't want to do computers. Yes, sir. The other one, my gentleman's internet was down. He goes, Lance, I really want to sign this contract. We need to get under contract. Do you mind printing it? Sure. I'll go out there and take it to you. So those are only 2 transactions out of my roughly 30 in the past 2 years that I've had to print. And you can get instant access and training and support. We have over 250 agents working for us in the cloud to help us out. Well, like I said, we have 30 hours of live training, anywhere from the basic to the advanced. We are international. We're in all 50 states, 3 provinces in Canada. We have a referral network. I got a referral the other day from a person in Utah. I met them at eXp convention. It's like, that's pretty cool. Met them, they gave me a referral. People are moving to Waco. So it's a big international. Now, what is eXp World? I told you it looked like a video game. It's a cloud-based environment where agents can meet and learn together. This is what it looks like. I create an avatar, got silver hair, got a blue shirt because I'm Bosqueville and I live out in that area, and some slacks. You can change it any which way you want to make it look and represent you. And you walk around and you go into a meeting. This is the meeting that I was telling you about that has over 300 people in there. They have large auditoriums. If you know someone and you want to meet, I'm talking to another agent in Las Vegas. I invited them to eXp World. We go into a little private room. We were talking, exploring, and experimenting. Like I said, it looks like this, sounds like this. So what tools do we have? We have eXp Enterprise. That is our back office. If you have a question, when is my transaction closing? How much am I actually going to make off this? You know, what are my capping details? How close am I to capping? All of that is in eXp Enterprise. We have SkySlope. Very easy to use, very easy to upload files. Very simple to loop everything. You upload all your files into SkySlope. Point and click, point and click. And then we have a transaction team that actually looks over, makes sure all of our I's are dotted and all of our T's are crossed, and says, you're good to go. You're clear to close from our end. They take care of everything. We have Workplace by Facebook. If you're a Facebook user, Workplace is a subsidiary inside of Facebook that only people in that company can use. And we communicate that way. If I have a question, I just send somebody a message. Boom, it goes right to them immediately. So I had a question, I wasn't near my computer, I sent somebody a Workplace message. It was a great way to collaborate with other agents. We have CRM and lead generation. We have 2 of the top leading CRMs and lead generation platforms in the United States. One is called Commissions Inc., and the other one's called KV Core. Any agent in the United States can go out and purchase those on their own. If you purchase it on your own, Commissions Inc. is $1,600 a month. Gentleman that I listen to all the time speak named Brett Gove, great guy, $100 million producer out in Sacramento. He has 3 agents every month with putting down $1,600 on their credit card because Commission Inc. was working for him. I use KV Core. KV Core, if you want to use it and you're not with EXP, it's $1,000 startup fee. And then it's $500 a month. But any agent can go buy that. They're not just exclusive to EXP, so you know it works. People are paying the money for it. With EXP, it's included with your technology fee, which I'll explain all the fees here later. I love this lead generation. When I got into real estate, my sphere of influence, about half of them were real estate agents. Can't really call a real estate agent and say, hey, you want to buy a house? Because they're already going to buy and sell their own. They're not going to give you any of their clients. You have to go out and find clients. Very first year, I closed 12 transactions. One of them was a sphere of influence, somebody that I knew, my brother-in-law. This past year, I closed 17 transactions. I was $140 away from capping, and I had 4 deals fall through. This year, I've already closed 7, and I got 5 on the books. Actually, I just closed 8, had 1 closing this morning, and I got 5 deals coming up in March. One of them, again, is my sphere of influence. Everything else is coming from this lead generation software that's funneling in to me every week, or every month, every day. I was sitting a while ago, and one of my phone vibrated, and I was like, oh, what is this? Is someone texting? No, it was a new lead. They come in as they search. When you're assigned a lead from EXP, you're the only agent that gets that lead. They don't share it throughout the company or throughout all the people in EXP. It is only yours. We also believe in branding and marketing yourself. Today's consumer does not care what name is behind your company. They care about you. Do they have a personal relationship with you? Do they know you? Are you going to be trustworthy? Are you going to be honest? Are you going to get me a good deal? Are you going to work hard for me? That's what they care about. Now we have the tools with EXP to market ourselves. I am Lance Donaldson, real estate, brokered by EXP. That's what people care about. What is Lance going to do for me? We have powerful equity opportunities. This is the thing that when I saw, I immediately got excited about this because I understood this. I've been self-employed. My wife has been self-employed for about 8 years. We have no retirement plan. We don't pay in Social Security. We don't have that set up. So we had to do something besides set aside cash every month for retirement. That's hard, especially when you have other bills and other things to do, and you have little kids and all this. I saw this and said, oh wow, this is a way for us to get stocks and to get stocks cheaply and easily. There are 5 ways to get stocks. 4 of them EXP will give to you, and 1 you can purchase. The way EXP gives you stocks, very simple. Very first transaction you do every year, EXP will hand you $200 worth of EXPI stocks. Boom, here you go. You do a transaction, you close a transaction, here's $200 worth of stocks this year. Thank you very much. You're part of the EXP family. You own a part of EXP. So, wow, that's pretty cool. If you cap, they give you $400 worth of EXP stock. Here you go. Here's $400 worth of EXP stock. Thank you very much. Congratulations. If you attract another agent, and as soon as that agent does their first transaction, they give you $400 worth of EXP stock. There you go. So that's $1,000 worth of EXP stocks just by doing very basic items. Now the last way is one that I'm shooting for. Every agent in EXP, except for the very few large companies that move over, every agent is on an 80-20 split with a $16,000 cap. If you cap, or when you cap, you go to $250 per transaction. Once you pay $5,000 into the company, they say you're an icon. And you're an icon agent. So roughly that's 20 houses here in Waco after you cap, if you're working by yourself. They will give you your cap back in the form of EXP stock. They will give you the entire $16,000, say, here you go, here's EXP stock. So that's pretty exciting. That's my goal this year, is to become an icon agent. And after March, I'll be right on track for it, which I'm excited. The 5th way, and the way that I love, one thing that really attracted me, is I can take 5% of my gross commission. So I can take 5% off the top and buy EXP stock at 80 cents on the dollar. It's like, wow, that's free money. Now, they purchase the stock at the very last day of the month, and they purchase it in $250 blocks. So in December, was the last month that I had the $250 block to sell, I bought 136 shares. They bought 136 shares. So instead of paying a franchise fee or a desk fee or any of these other 5%, I paid myself the 5%. Bought the stock for $5.36. It's now worth $11 and something. I'd say it's a good investment. And I invested in myself. Now, stock prices do go up and do go down, so past performance does not equal future performance. We have to say that for SEC regulations. But it is the stock market. And the way EXP is going, it's looking beautiful out there. So I'm really excited about that. I've actually purchased over 900 shares of EXP stock in my time. The average sell price is right around $6 that I purchased it on. So I've made about $4,000 just in the stocks. So. Well, here's the biggest thing that is attracting most agents. We do what is called revenue share. I asked a question on Facebook the other day. If you and I were in sales and I attracted an agent and I gave you a choice, would you want a part of their commission that they pay to EXP, would you want a part of their commission right off the top, or do you want a part of their commission after we pay all of our bills? We want it right off the top. Because after you pay the bills, there might not be anything left. We do revenue share. EXP takes money right off the top, and not the agent's money. This is the most important line I've ever seen. Revenue share is paid by company dollars and does not reduce the agent's share one penny. That $16,000 that we pay into EXP is divided amongst the agents depending upon their contribution to the company. And what do I mean by contribution? Attracting agents. When you attract an agent on your first line, you will get paid up to $2,800 a year of that $16,000 that they paid into EXP. Never touch the agent's money. All of my sales, I know who my upline is. EXP doesn't touch a penny of my sales because my agents, my sponsors, are huge attractors. They have enough that, on their downline, which I'll explain here a little better. So, Devin is on my downline. Anything that Devin sells, Devin gets 80% automatically, boom, that's his money, it's never touched. Anytime he has a sale on that month, the very next month, on the 22nd, today is the 22nd of February, EXP agents are going crazy because we love the 22nd. Next month, the next month that Devin has the sales, the following month, I will get 3.5% of his gross commission that he pays into EXP. What did I do? I talked to Devin about EXP, that's it. I showed him a video. Didn't do anything else. Devin did the sale, Devin did that. Tracy, my sponsor, I love Tracy. She's great. She gets a percentage of all my sales. All the way up. So, how do you make money that people are really doing? We pay 7 levels down. Every agent on your first level, you get up to $2,800. If you attract 5 agents, you open up your second level. You get paid up to $3,200 on your second level. You attract 10, you're getting $2,000. We pay all the way down to the 7th level. You attract 40 agents, first of all, you're going to be making a killing. Because just the exponential way the numbers spread out is amazing. So let's do some real math. Say you attract 5 agents, and they're all producing agents. You get up to $2,800 each agent. So that means an extra $14,400 in your pocket for free besides your sales. I'm still selling, I'm still producing, but now EXP is saying, here you go. Here's an extra $14,000. Why? Because you talked to 5 people into coming to EXP. Now, say that you have one agent that goes out and recruits 2 and one that just goes out and recruit 1. They're all capping agents. I'll get up to $3,200. That's $9,600 extra. So just by this scenario, me talking to 5 agents, having them come over, those talking to 3 total, I'll get an extra $25,000 a year in my pocket. What did I do? I shared the story. I invited them to a lunch and learn. I said, hey, come here with me. Why? Because a rising tide raises all ships. If you do good, everybody does good. And again, it never comes from your money. It comes from EXP's money. And there's no limit to the amount an agent can earn. I'm gonna tell you about some personal stories that I know, that I went and talked to some people. Most people with an average of 10 people on their first line, they have anywhere from 50 to 100 agents underneath them. The lowest one I talked to was making about $5,000 a month. The highest, about $10,000 a month. It's pretty good little return on investment there. And that's just their revenue share, not their selling. One of my friends named Pat Hayes, he has 33 people on his first level. He set a goal a couple of years ago. He goes, when I hit this number and I make this much money a month, my wife is gonna retire from her job. She has a PhD in physical therapy. She was making 6 figures. He goes, when I hit this number, she's retiring. In August, they hit that number. She has since retired and she has become a real estate agent, and they work together. Pat has more energy than anybody I've ever seen. He is great. If you ever get to listen to Pat Hayes, find what he's talking to, and you'll be amazed. Very smart guy. He shared his last revenue share check. Now, he has about 1,500 people on his team. Does he know 1,500 agents in San Antonio? No, he goes, I've never even seen some of these agents. I'm in 33 states. My team has grown to 33 states and 1 Providence in Canada. His last revenue share check, around $50,000 a month, just because of the numbers. We are not locally confined. I'm talking to an agent in Las Vegas. I'm talking to one in Delaware. I met them on Facebook. They friended me on Facebook and started talking to them just, hey, how's real estate going? Great. You know, it's going good here. Hey, what brokerage you with? Well, I'm with this one. Hey, I'm with EXP. EXP, I've never heard of it. Let me tell you. So making friends outside of your local area just explodes the numbers. Now, I mentioned a guy named Rob Flick. Rob is a great guy, and he is the big dog. Now, you talking about an emotional speaker, he will tell you some emotional, powerful things. He was with Coldwell Bankers years ago, got cancer, almost died. Went in and looked around. When he got in remission and was cured, he goes, I gotta find something else. Stumbled upon another company, because at the time he goes, it was called Keller something. Had 1,500 agents. Because I went and learned how to recruit agents. He is still to this day the 15th highest residual earner with Keller Williams, making about $300,000 a year. He was retired, he'd been retired for 15 years. He was looking for some friends that had a lot of money and a lot of time. He goes, there's not a lot of people out there like that. Talked to one of his guys named Gene Frederick, and Gene said, hey, let me introduce you to this thing called EXP. You'll come out of retirement. He decided to come out of retirement. He goes, I'll give you 3 years. He just passed his 3rd year anniversary, by the way. He goes, I'll give you 3 years and see what we can do. If I do the same thing that I did at Keller Williams here, in 3 years, we'll be making about the same, so it'll be great. It took him 5 months to make what he did with Keller Williams. So he started recruiting. That is his game plan. His last revenue share check, north of $400,000 a month. Now, he has majority of EXP agents, and he is a great recruiter, but still, it's possible. He is actually above certain people in the revenue share line, and he's making more than them. Why? Because he knows what he's doing. He's listening, he's learning. But that's the revenue share model. It's an exponential model, and most of the money, like the penny doubling every day, is on the bottom 2 levels. But you still get paid no matter what when you have agents underneath you. Well, how do you become a shareholder of EXP? EXP is basically wanting to become the Amazon of real estate. They're coming there. They're getting there. Team recruiting is strong. EXP at World Holding is attempting to disrupt the real estate brokerage status quo. No one is walking into a building anymore saying, let me go here because of your name. It's, again, personalization. Well, like I said, every agent is on an 80-20 split with a 16,000 cap. After you hit your cap, you go to 100%. Goes to $250 a transaction as well. Now, standard fees and startup costs. We have a startup cost of $149. That includes your first month tech fee and your first month university fee. University fee allows you to go to every one of the trainings that I mentioned, over 35 hours. I always joke around and call it, you got $1 a training. $1 class a week. You know, you pay monthly, but it's $1 a class for your weekly. We have a $25 broker review fee. And we have a $400 risk management or E&O fee. That's capped at $500. That's the only fees that EXP has. It's the only fees that you'll pay. So low startup costs, low monthly fees, and that's it. And you get training, lead generation, stocks, and the ability to have revenue share. Well, if you want to become a shareholder, if you want to join EXP, one thing I mentioned is integrity. I have my name written down here because I did the slide, but if you had someone invite you, put their name there. A rising tide raises all ships. If they invited you, put their name on there and be part of their team, their organization. You'll be part of mine. You'll be part of Scott Lewis, Tracy Lewis, Rob Flick, these great industry leaders, and they will help you out in any which way. Well, that's all my presentation for today. I want to say thank you for coming and listening. Do y'all have any questions?
Question about the leads.
Yes, sir.
And how did you say those were developed again?
The leads are gathered by internet searches. How it's developed, if I can recall, I met with a guy that developed KV Core. Basically, someone's looking on the internet, homes in Waco. Now, that person will find the EXP website. They'll go on the EXP website. EXP will then assign it to you or myself or whoever's in there. So they'll assign it to Lance Donaldson. Now, once that person is assigned to Lance Donaldson inside that EXP store, that's my lead. EXP will never assign it anywhere else. So that's how that's developed and garnered. Someone just searching on the internet. Homes in Waco, homes in Bosqueville, homes in China Spring. There's other ways to get leads. Inside of KV Core, we have a squeeze page and a landing page. It really blows my mind how effective these things are. I had a house that was not moving. Been on the market since mid-December. Only had maybe 4 or 5 people look at it. So I developed what's called a squeeze page. All I did is put, all right, where do you want this source to come from? I went Facebook. All right, I already had it in the MLS. They said, what's the MLS number? Put that number in. They said, all right, here's your code. Boom. And they gave me a short code in case I wanted to put it on Twitter. And they gave me a long URL that when I copied it over to my Facebook page, it showed the house, it showed everything about it, and it showed my web page. Everyone gets their own web page. So it showed all that. I then put it on about 8 different groups in Waco. My phone within 30 minutes, bing, hello, this is, hey, I see you have this home, can you see it? I had about 8 different private messages at the same time. I was like, wow, this is amazing. That weekend I had 8 different showings on that house. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. On Tuesday I had that house under contract. All because I took 30 seconds to make this page. Now there's people out there that know so much more. I scratch the surface. I always tell people I'm an iceberg KV Core user. I scratch the surface, I let it do its magic, and I have fun getting the leads. I honestly get about 50 leads a month. I convert 3 or 4 of them to clients, and I do not chase after the leads. I get what the low-hanging fruit. Someone that leaves a phone number for me, and they'll answer my call, or if I send them an email, they'll answer back on the email. That's it. So I could probably convert a higher rate, but I don't try to do it. So how are they generated? Not really sure. I just know it works. Kind of like a hot dog. I don't want to know how a hot dog made. I just know they're delicious and I want to eat them. So, any other questions?
And as far as the leads, that you don't pay for those leads. You just pay your regular.
You pay your regular $50 a month. Now you can purchase extra leads. And here's one of the things that I always say. When I first started with EXP here in Waco, the EXP model was not around. KV Core was not around. The back office was not around. It had to be developed. So the first year I was getting probably 10 leads a month and converting one of those. We have a program called Make It Rain, and you can purchase leads. I said, okay, let me try to purchase these leads in Waco. I was the only agent here anyway. I said, let me try it and see what it works. I was either gonna do that or I was gonna purchase a Zillow zip code. Zillow zip code is gonna cost me about $750 a month. Make It Rain cost me $250 a month. I'm gonna do that. And we'll just go from there and see what happens. Purchased it on Wednesday, ad went active on Friday. On Saturday, I got a lead. I called them, they answered, went and showed them a house, put them under contract. Okay, that's a good coincidence. Sunday, same thing happened. Well, now I get about 50 leads a month. And people say, all right, is that from you buying the leads or is that from you just being, the agent here in Waco? My answer is, I don't know. And like, again, honestly, I really don't care because I'm not gonna turn it off to do an experiment. I'm paying $250 a month. I'm getting 3 clients out of it. That's paying for itself. So it's not like I'm spending a lot of money. I have never advertised. I've never done flyers. I've never done mailers. I've never done cold calling. All I do is pay that $250 and let it do its magic. Again, is it the magic of, make it rain? Or is it the magic of people looking, in Waco and I'm the agent? Can't answer that question, but that's the honest truth of it. So I thought about turning it off one time and I was like, why am I gonna shoot my face? Why am I gonna shoot my nose in spite of my face? So.
Now, how's it advertised locally as far as your agency?
Each agent is responsible for their own advertisements.
Do you do any local advertising?
No, sir. I will sponsor some softball teams, I'll sponsor some things at my little league, but I do not, like I said, I was looking at doing it, I did the Make It Rain. I probably could. As you get a group together, of course, the cost goes down. You see 4 people's name, with an agency up on the board, they're paying for the billboard themselves. The company's not paying for it, they're paying for it themselves, but they're splitting it 4 ways.
Yeah.
Billboard's about $400 a month. So now they're paying $100. How much is it working for them? I know a guy who owns the billboard sign, and hey, he says, hey, this would be a good one, this would be a good one. I started doing the Make It Rain, I'm like, I'm good. I have my budget and I'm happy. So yes, each individual agent's responsible for their own advertisement.
What about multiple listing? Would you have access to that?
I do have access, but each agent, again, just like a normal brokerage, they're responsible for their own MLS fees.
How much is that?
I think it's 35? Is that right?
35 a month.
Yeah, 35 a month. That's what I was thinking. Honestly, I set mine up. It goes to EXP because it has to be charged the broker. EXP sends me a credit card bill. It goes on the credit card bill. I don't look at it. I just pay EXP every month, pay off my credit card with everything, and I'm good. So I don't pay attention to what the actual fee is on the MLS, but I know that. I know getting started, I felt like I was bleeding money. Because you got to pay your NAR, your car, Trek, Waco dues, everything else, about $400, $500 by the time you're said and done. And it's like, I sold a house and I'm already $1,500 negative. Wow, this is tough. You sell a house and you're like, okay, now I'm good. Takes a little bit to get caught back up, but like I said, I wish I would have listened to my wife years ago.
That extra 10% that, you don't pay to another brokerage in town helps a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a whole lot.
And so the.
He knows from experience. He said we know from experience.
Oh, I've been in business 6 years. So
Yeah.
I've been licensed in Waco for 6 years, next month. And we were talking about the Keller Williams model. It's similar with the profit share and things like that, but the scale's nowhere near that. And with other brokerages and almost everybody in town except for Keller Williams and EXP, they don't have any profit share. Nobody else does that really.
And we do
there's some-
revenue share, not profit, because
Right.
revenue comes off the top, profit comes off the bottom.
Right, and there's some that say they will set up certain things, but I've yet to see any result on that from other companies. So that's the reason why, one of the biggest reasons I chose to move over. And I've got over 3 years vested with Keller Williams, similar to the guy you mentioned making residual from them. I'm in the same boat, but it's no scale on one end. And if nobody produces, then of course I don't have anything to brag about. But the way the model's set up on this situation, it's a lot more lucrative in the long run. So it makes more sense. And then, like I said, even with that, just where you would make a lot less on one transaction, you come out with that extra 10% off the bat, makes it even worth it in its own. So you're like, okay, cool. I'm not gonna just give them away all my money.
Yep.
And then cap rates, a lot of things, variables fall into play that make more sense as an agent for me. So, and I've already got a lead, the other day that one. It's turning out to be about a $200,000 deal. So I'll essentially make almost $6,000 off of a couple phone calls.
With the KV Corps?
Yeah, the one the one we talked about, the guy from Austin and all
Oh, yeah.
that. So yeah, I mean that's
Oh,
working
yeah,
out.
the referral, yeah,
Mhm.
that's awesome.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, my whole fees, dues, everything will be paid for off one transaction that I didn't even fight for. I didn't have to fight any other agents for it. I didn't have to, you know.
No, who's the
sell
fastest to
myself.
pick up the phone?
Yeah,
How
yeah.
many people can I call immediately to
No,
get this?
None of that. It was just, oh, you're here, you know you'll take care of this person? Yeah, okay, cool, there you go. Appreciate it. So, fine with that.
Very, like I said, we are all in this EXP agents. I haven't seen maybe just a couple, you have turkeys in every, brokerage. I might have only seen one that was like, yeah, I don't wanna help out on that situation. And they were up in the Northwest. And they're like, yeah, I'm not gonna mentor anyone that's not in my revenue share group. Okay, everyone else is, oh yeah, sure, I'll do you. Yeah, not my revenue, I'll talk to them. Yeah, I'll help you out. Everybody I know is so nice and so wonderful that they care. It's really humbling when you have these mega producers and these mega agents say, all right, hey Lance, let me sit down and talk with you for a little bit. Like, you realize that you're the founder, aren't you? Because I was walking through EXP convention, I was like, wow, it's Lance Sanford. And they go, hey, go up and say hi to him. Hey man, how you doing? Well, hey, tell me about yourself, Lance, as we're walking. I was like, dude, are you serious? You're actually curious about me? You're like the creator here. You're like multi-millionaire. You're like, he got to push the closing bell on the NASDAQ the other day. And you want to talk to me? That's pretty humbling. Because I'm like, I'm just a peon. He goes, no, never think of yourself that way. You're great. You're wonderful. You're something of value. That's pretty cool. So, unique things that they do there. So, any other questions?
Are you gonna eat something?
Yeah, I'm gonna eat something eventually. Yes,
I
sir.
don't wanna tie you up.
Yeah, no, I'll eat something. I have a couple hours up here, so I'm not.
Okay.
I made sure that I knew how it was planned out, and depending on the number of agents. So,
Would you go over the fees again?
yes, sir. Here are the monthly fees. Startup fee, $149. They take that. That includes your first month tech fee and your 35-month university fee.
So what would, after that,
After that, it's $85 a month.
85?
And, that's what EXP charges. Now, the Waco MLS will charge you $35, but they'll get you that, any brokerage is gonna charge you that. No one pays these MLS fees. If they're due, they're getting you somewhere, I always laugh. I used to do credit card sales, and people would come in and like, oh, talking about advertising. And this one place offered 0.99. Like, look at the fine print. It says over this many basis points, which so actually translated, you're actually paying about 6% on this one. So EXP is very upfront. You pay your own MLS dues, you pay your own association dues, you pay anything else you want to join. We'll charge you $85 a month. That's it.
Now, as far as the activation, if I activate my active license, would you be the broker for that?
No, we have one designated broker in the
Okay.
state of Texas, and she has 8 different assistants, depending on which area that they're in. Our designated broker's name is Sheila Dunnigan. When you're ready to sign up, you let me know. I'll help you walk through everything. I'll tell you, hey, this is the person, this is the person. I'll make sure that, I'll be your point of contact to help you get signed up and enrolled. But Sheila Dunnigan is our broker on record. Our associate in this area is a gentleman by the name of Rick Hall. He's very new to this position. And they just kind of divided up the state just a little bit different. But Rick Hall is that person. If you have any other questions, there are about, Sheila has a secretary, she has an assistant. There are people, like I said, you walk into the EXP office, or EXP world in the broker room, and our broker room is open from 9 until 3, Monday through Friday. You go there, there's somebody always in there asking a question. On the wall has all the pictures of the brokers in Waco, or excuse me, in Texas area. You can contact any one of them, they'll answer. But our broker on record, each state has to designate one, named Sheila Dunnigan. So, no, I'm not a broker, I'm an agent, I'm an owner, just like 99.9% of the other people, so.
If I, of course, being retired, I do some traveling, like late summer, early fall, what would it do about the leads that were sent to me during that time?
You'd still get the leads. Here's what you do, you're out, my dad does a motorhome, loves it. So they go to different places, they travel all around, they love to travel. So when he stops, he just gets on his computer and says, okay, what am I gonna do here? Now, he's not an agent, he does another business. But he just stops, he does the lead then. So say you're out of town, say you're traveling to Colorado, You get a lead, hey Lance, I can't get this lead, can I give you a referral for it? Can you take care of it? Or you call that lead and say, hey, you know, how soon are you looking to move? Oh, 2 months? Hey, I'm gone this week traveling, you know, I'll get back to you. Let me send you these leads on the MLS, or please continue to look on my website. When you like one of them, let me know. When I get back, we'll set it up. Very simple, very basic. I know that last year my daughter played college softball. We were gone every weekend. If I would get a lead, I would call them and say, hey, they're like, hey, can we see a house this weekend? Hey, unfortunately, my daughter's playing college softball. This might be her last year. I don't know. I'm down here watching, but I would love to show you Monday, or I'd love to show you Tuesday. Every one of them understood. Because I always told them, my family is the most important thing to me, but I will take great care of you if you let me take care of my family. They loved it. So I didn't have one person say, no, I gotta go see it now. So if you're gone traveling, man, that's awesome. Like I said, that's what, honestly, Rob Flick, the guy I was telling you about, his biggest fear was the fear of him losing his traveling. They said they traveled about 180 days out of the year. He goes, now we travel about 270. He goes, we've gone to Greece, you know, we've gone to Europe for 2 weeks. He goes, what do I do when I'm over there? My phone rings, I answer. Hey, how you doing? He goes, I still give presentations. I can do it online. We're cloud-based. You're not confined here. But if it's something that's emergency, you know, hey, a person has to show. Hey, Lance, can you come show this house? Can you do it for a referral? Or, hey, Lance, can you take care of my client today? I'll take care of you on the back end. Sure. You know, I had another agent call me and says, hey, I can't make a showing today. Can you do it once it closes? You know, I'll take you out to dinner. Okay, I'm not doing anything. Got a free dinner coming up, you know? So helping each other out is what, so it's not, like I said, it's not cutthroat. Oh, sorry, you're out of town. I get the lead. No, nothing like that. So, any other ones?
I hate to ask all the questions.
No, go right ahead.
As far as signing up agents, you just do that from people you know or personal contacts or?
There are a lot of different ways. The only thing that we don't ask you to do is don't just robocall and don't do mass emails. We don't want a mass email sent out to everybody in the Waco MS. Hey, what you doing? You know, let me talk to you about this. Agents you know, agents you family knows. Like I said, I'm talking to an agent in Las Vegas. I sold a house from a person moving. They're actually, long story how I found them, but I was selling one house. They happened to be jogging out in the neighborhood because they were cleaning their rental house to sell it. They were living in Las Vegas. So they jogged by. I went out and talked to them, got their listing. A few months later, I called them and said, hey, what great agent do you know? What rock star agent do you know in Las Vegas? And they said, oh, well, this person. I called that person and said, hey, you know, my friend Scott said you're a rock star agent. Oh, yeah. I said, hey, my name is Lance. I'm in Waco. You know, first started a relationship with him, asking him questions. How's business? How's this? How's this? Well, eventually got on and said, hey, the reason I'm calling is really about EXP. Have you heard about EXP? And I've heard a little bit about it. Well, have you seen the video? No. We have a video. It's 26 minutes long. Sometimes, most of the time, if I'm not giving a live presentation, what I'll do is I'll just go on here and I'll hit play. A friend and I will sit and eat lunch together, put in headphones. We'll sit and eat lunch. They'll watch the video. If they have a question, we just pause it and we answer the question there. I'll do it online. I'll send them the video as I'm talking to them.
Is that off the website too?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you the link. You can watch it. I'm going to give both of y'all the link. Y'all can watch it and say, all right, here you go. How easy is this? So not only agents do you know that you have a personal relationship, any agent that you want to call. You find an agent in Waco, hey, this is Lance with EXP. You know, how are you doing today? Now, we do have training modules on how to recruit, how to talk to people, how to get to the agents. You don't want to verbal vomit, is what they say, onto people. You don't want to overload them with too much information. And you don't have to know the information either. You don't have to know it like I did. You just have to be able to push play. Let me get you this video. Let me let you watch it. Does it excite you like it did me? So like I said, when I saw this, I came home and told my wife. I said, oh my gosh. One of my good friends is a broker here. I know 2 of the main brokers here in Waco. But when I saw this, I started putting numbers to paper, and I was like, I like them. But if I do what I think I can do, just sales alone, that's $10,000 roughly extra a year in my pocket. I don't like them $10,000 worth. They're great friends. I'll help them move if they need to, but I'm not giving them $10,000 of my hard-earned money. So I joined EXP and took a chance. I said I love it. So, basically. What else you got for me? I love it. I don't mind.
As far as the, the development, the agents, like if they're not licensed, you have a program to, help people?
I do. There's a program that I recommend. It's called the CE Shop. It costs around $370. You can get your real estate license, all online. It includes 180 hours that you need, and it gives you a guarantee, gives you all these things. Like I said, it's very simple to use. My ex-cousin, yeah, I had to think about it. She was married to my cousin, got a divorce and all this stuff, but my ex-cousin is getting her real estate license. She started the classes, loving it. Know another agent that needs just help with the national portion. Send her over there. They're taking just the national portion. So if you're thinking about it, yes. Now, as far as training goes, once you become an agent, man, we have some of the best training ever. Y'all heard of Zillow? There's a little part called Zillow Academy. I don't know if you ever heard of that. It trains you how to use Zillow. The gentleman who created Zillow Academy now works for EXP and does a lot of the training on EXP. That's, we have some pretty smart people that that work for us that help you with training, not only to get started, but everything else. The other beautiful thing we have is if you are a new agent or if you do recruit a new agent, we have a mentor program. I'm right now the only mentor. We're working on him. Only mentor here in the Waco area. So helping mentor new agents as they come along, as they get going. I have one young kid, 19-year-old, triple major at Baylor. Biomed, pre-med, biochemistry, and religion major. And he wants to do real estate. It's like, come on. So I'm mentoring him. So yes, we have programs in place for brand new agents. We also have a place, for the experienced agents.
And you mentioned something about national. As far as my license is Texas.
You can only sell where your license is, but you can recruit and talk to agents anywhere. And if they sign up, then part of that $16,000 that's paid in the company goes to you.
So it's not an extra deal you have to have as far as your license.
Right, if you want to sell in another state, you have to get your license in another state. Yes, sir.
And you also mentioned that a lot of the training and everything's done through Facebook.
No, sir. Some of the communication is done through Facebook.
Okay.
99% of the training, I don't say all of it because we use Zoom, which is kind of like Skype, face-to-face meetings, but 99% of the meetings is done in EXP World. All the trainings that are the 35 hours a week are done through the EXP World.
And that's just a website.
Yes, sir. Let me see if they have it. We can connect here. Complete registration. I don't want to do that or not, but look at. I'll show you EXP World. If I have to get my phone out to do it, it's the mess.
Yeah, that,
This is the EXP World. This is how I log in.
I see. The reason I was mentioning Facebook was I'm not real big in social media.
And that's fine. No, sir. You don't have to be.
Okay.
It helps, it does help a lot. Like I said, the young gentleman that I was talking to, he takes his notes on his iPads. He goes, this is how I take my notes. Scribbled on it, and he goes, now I can hit translate, and it transfer over everything I write, no matter how bad it is. So the up and coming people, the millennials, that's all they use. However, I'm not great on Facebook at all. I have a part of it, but I don't advertise. Basically, I have access to Workplace. I only use it if I have a question. Like when Devin was onboarding, I had a question where he was. I emailed one of the people because it was at 5 o'clock and I didn't have access to my computer. So I basically it's like an email, but it's a messenger is what it's called. So it's just another tool that we offer. Like at my house, this is almost instant. So.
Well, I know, I'll eventually have some other questions, but,